The sky grows dark, decay underneath. The ravens in the sky, and kings shall deceive. We have come into the night, thunder and rage in war a night. We have come into the night, thunder and rage in war a night. We'll fight for kings, for Ragnarok. Drinker up for Ragnarok, drinker up for Ragnarok, drinker up for Ragnarok. Welcome to Valhalla. Drinker up for Ragnarok, drinker up for Ragnarok, drinker up for Ragnarok. Welcome to Valhalla. I can feel it in my veins, the warrior inside of me. Drinker up for Ragnarok, drinker up for Ragnarok, drinker up for Ragnarok. Welcome to Valhalla. The sounds of arms, fierce morality. The nightfall, the rain, and the silence leads. We have come into the night, thunder and rage in war a night. We have come into the night, thunder and rage in war a night. We'll fight for kings, for Ragnarok. Sail war. Drinker up for Ragnarok, drinker up for Ragnarok, drinker up for Ragnarok. Welcome to Valhalla. Drinker up for Ragnarok, drinker up for Ragnarok, drinker up for Ragnarok. Welcome to Valhalla. I can feel it in my veins, the warrior inside of me. Drinker up for Ragnarok, drinker up for Ragnarok, drinker up for Ragnarok. Welcome to Valhalla.
Hello, welcome to the stream. We got Battle of the Bulge versus Titans Gaming's Mox. I'm joined by my fellow casters Karma Warrior and Console C. What's up, guys? How we doing?
Doing pretty good, doing pretty good.
We are doing splendid.
We got a pretty banger of a matchup, a little bit of tweaked rosters from what you see on screen. We're gonna have a sub going on right now for Battle of the Bulge. We got Hailstrom top lane, Keanu jungle. We have Mont Blanc mid, Tactic bot, and support. We have Covert Panda subbing in for Janelle. And then I believe for Titans Mox, who do we have for their
We have Flame in top
for
lane.
top lane for top.
Yeah, we have Flame for subbing in for Flimsy, I believe, just for game 1.
Yes,
And
that's
then-
correct.
And then we have the rest of the lineup: Vixper, Ventage,
Uh,
Arma, and Trinity.
Tac Alley will be taking jungle for the whole games.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, so we have Tac Alley replacing Vixper in the jungle, and then we have Ventage, Arma, and Trinity the same. What do we think of the current rosters, including subs? Do we have any specific thoughts on what lanes are going to be the most explosive?
So I definitely think that I'm curious to see what happens in the jungle with the subs on Titans, because so Tac Alley looks like most of their games in ranked are on Shyvana and Warwick, which are very high hyper carry junglers, which also Flame, which is the top laner, also plays a lot of hyper carry top laners like Renekton, Camille, Jax. So I'm curious to see which one of those gets put on more of a supportive versus more of a carry role. I think it'll more likely be the jungler getting put on something like Sejuani, Vi, Amumu, something that can more get a lot of CC down and support the team and get those lanes fed.
Yeah, I think especially because you have Arma, who's typically just a traditional AD carry player. Bentage is more known for either his supportive mids like Seraphine, Morgana. Sometimes we'll play the just normal control mages, the scaling like the Vigar, Malzahar, stuff like that. And then Trinity is usually, I believe, known for the more more ADC supports like Ashe and Senna, I believe. Trinity is like really proficient on. So yeah, I'm curious to see how they what kind of comp they come up with for sure on their end. Where I feel like I've seen Battle of the Bulge more like Mont Blanc playing more control mage stuff. It's curious to see what Covert Panda is going to pull out for support. He plays a lot of off meta stuff, and then yeah, it should be an exciting game for sure.
A lot of wacky stuff that the support plays. I'm very excited to see what they end up locking in.
Yeah, it's definitely, I definitely think the bot lane matchup will be pretty hyped to watch. Tactic and Arma are both very, very good AD carries, and then supports are more known on both sides for playing unconventional support, so it'll be fun to see the lanes we get on each side.
Yeah, talking about the Seraphine. Seraphine is like one of the most contested picks in this draft, knowing that like 3 people in the game play it. I think it's their top, their ADC, and then Bulge's ADC.
Yeah, so we are currently into draft. Battle of the Bulge doesn't like any of the purple champions. We're getting rid of Kennen, Jax, and Morgana. Pretty good bans on their side, targeting 2 top laners, and then Bentish's Morgana. On red side, we're banning Eve away from Keanu. We're banning Ari away from Montblanc, and then the last ban coming in, it's a nail biter, a buzzer beater. What are we getting?
Remember, Driftwell doesn't work on my computer half the time.
Oh, draft mode.
So we're gonna, when we see the third ban, we're also gonna see 2 or 3 picks at least.
Yeah, all right. So
Sounds good. For bands, I don't know. I'm kind of torn between the idea for what Bulge is thinking of.
yeah,
To be honest, I think ADC bands would have been a little bit more favorable here.
Yeah, I'm surprised to see the Renekton make it through draft, and I would also be shocked if Tristana is still up. So I'll be curious to see if that gets picked. And there it is, the Seraphine first picked, just like we predicted.
Yep, it's the most contested pick of this draft, but neither team really wants to ban it. They both kind of have power plays with it. So we'll see if the Senna gets taken away.
It's a very common pairing with Seraphine.
yeah. I mean, Seraphine taking away from Bentage is pretty huge. Giving Titan Gaming Mock, so we have Tac Alley playing the Amumu, so he is going to fill more of the supportive role for his team in that sense. With that, and right now, I guess we're just waiting on the draft to catch up, so we get the remaining picks.
The Mumu also picked it as a response to the Seraphine. I think that's a smart pick. Probably going to be going into the jungle. Good, solid tank jungler. Good engage. Very, very hard to screw up in a Mumu.
Okay, so we do have the so I have the spectator link actually pulled up on my screen. We're not gonna be able to see that on the stream until it updates. Okay, we got Misfortune for Titan Gaming Mox. Really good with the Amumu pairing. That could be
so it might be
bot lane.
Amumu support. Yeah.
Yeah, it could be an Amumu support. Jarvan and Kaisa. So very heavy, like going in comp from Battle of the Bulge currently. We have like
We'll
Jarvan
see where
and
the
Kaisa.
Seraphine is going.
Yeah, it could be mid or it could be support for sure. It'll be an interesting flex pick. Nautilus, so which again, that is also a flex pick. That could be not jungle. That's been popping up as of recently. So it's most likely a Mumu jungle and Nautilus support, but technically Nautilus and Mumu both can be flexed into either role. Nautilus mid was prevalent a few patches ago. I don't think that's what we're gonna see from Vintage. But
the Abyssal Mask changes kind of killed Nautilus mid.
Yeah. It's a sad day for
Nautilus
mid players. Yeah. that item felt pretty good on Swain. I must say so myself.
As a Swain one trick myself,
We
I
ended up picking
agree.
the Nautilus for Titan.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so we're banning the Gwen, targeting more top lane carry champions, and for banning the Lux away, possibly thinking that's a Seraphine support, maybe targeting Montblock's Lux. He has been playing that a lot in Flex with his team, so
I would
Yeah, those are the main
wager.
types of Mon.
I would wager it's more likely to be a Seraphine mid because you more traditionally want to pair Kaisa with a hard engage support.
okay, so they actually missed a ban. I'm watching the spectator link. They actually did miss a ban on Titan Gaming Mox, so I'm not
There's
sure
a
what that
Mordekaiser.
ban actually was. Mordekaiser ban, got it. So Mordekaiser ban, taking that away from Hailstrom, and then the Silas coming out. I'm assuming they're targeting Silas top lane. Maybe they want to blind pick like a tank support.
Yeah, maybe something like
Yeah,
Malphite.
like
First
Malphite. Yeah, so
Malphite.
they might just be taking the Silas off the table just in case they want to pick this Malphite or something. Okay, that's going to definitely be a mid lane Vagar for Bentage. It's one of his, I would say, his third most comfortable pick after Morgana and Seraphine. So let us see what Battle of the Bulge rounds their draft up with. I think a Malphite here would be really good. It really is
Yeah,
on brand with their
Malphite
comp.
blind.
Yeah, Malphite blind is very on brand with their comp.
Although
Also,
we
Titan
didn't
Gaming.
ban Fiora.
Yeah, they did not ban Fiora. But Fiora's not like that much. Late game, Fiora starts being good, but in lane, it's not that much of a direct counter into Malphite. Like the laning phase is still playable.
Yeah.
Okay, we got a Yone mid coming out for Montblock, so that is that very. I do like Battle of the Bulges comp that they've ended up with. Very very dive heavy. Titan Gaming's Mox is very AP heavy right now, so I would assume they're going to pick something like maybe a split push
Yeah.
top laner.
Looking for the
So they can,
Fiora probably.
yeah,
Too.
Fiora would be a good pick here. Camille might be decent. There's
Mhm.
anything to with true damage to cut through. We're going with the Olaf, so we're going for more of a team fight answer here. Olaf isn't as prominent in the side lanes as like a Fiora or a Camille. Still can side lane, but usually pick Olaf more for the team fight pressure, which don't know if that's exactly what I would have picked here, just because they have a lot of slippery targets with Kaisa and Yone and Jarvan all having dashes. It's kind of hard for Olaf just to keep up with all of it.
It'll
What do you?
definitely be an interesting answer to the Jarvan 4 because if Jarvan Arts ults the Olaf, it's no longer a you're stuck in here with me. Nah, I'm stuck in here with you
Yeah,
now.
yeah,
So
yeah.
that'll definitely be a good answer to that.
Yeah, I don't love it just because again, like Yone, Kaisa, Jarvan, Mount, like all of them have ways to dash away from the Olaf. Olaf kind of just wants to run at you. Um, if you buy
Yeah, I
enough
think
time for his ult to wear off, I think it's just hard for him to actually get onto a target in this comp.
yeah, Titan Gaming's Mox's team is more scrolled around fighting for early objectives, more around post 6 than early 6. So you'd
Yeah.
assume that Battle of the Bulg probably gets the first dragon, maybe the first herald. But then after that, then you're pretty much looking for like this giant Amumu engage into Vigar cage into MFR.
Yeah, the MF ultimate definitely going to be a major difference maker in these fights. However, it's going to be really hard to channel that ultimate for very long when you have a Yone ultimate to worry about, a Malphite ultimate, Jarvan
And
engage,
Seraphine.
and Seraphine. Definitely going to be hard to channel that full ultimate and get all the damage off that you need.
Yeah, we will see. We will see. We will see how Amumu and Vigar decide to how they want to fight Amumu, Vigar, and Nautilus, and how they decide to protect the MF from all of these knockups that are kind of pretty easy to
Yeah.
land.
I think if you're Battle of the Bulge, you really want to target the mid lane. You really want to get that Yone moving against the Vagar. Vagar is pretty much just going to be played really passive, scaling. Yone and Jarvan can pretty much easily jump onto the Vagar and punish the early laning phase. And then in response, I would think Titans would focus the bot side of the map just because Misfortune Nautilus is going to be very strong into the Seraphine Kaisa, who kind of just want to both scale up.
Yeah,
So
it
I
seems
think,
like you're gonna have pretty mellow and everywhere else except mid lane.
yeah, mid lane is going to be the strong point for Battle of the Bulge early game, and then bot lane is going to be the strong point for Titans early game. Top lane should just be probably an island, really. There's not that much incentive, I think, from either sides to gank them unless the lane state is really bad for one of them. It's possible that Flame ends up using these early power on the Olaf to get a favorable wave state. They might need to send someone top to help break it, but I would foresee the Battle of the Bulge playing around the top side, maybe around the Heralds, and then Titans Gaming's playing around the Dragons. That's probably what I foresee, just based on the power level of these champions early game on each side of the draft.
Yeah, if either Seraphine or Kaisa get hit by a hook down there, they are most likely dead. So they'll definitely have to be played very reserved, very passive in the early game, try to just get off as much poke as they possibly can.
Absolutely. What draft do each of you favor more? Who do you like? If we're placing early bets on the just based on the draft, we're turning nameplates off. What team do you think has the better draft?
In my opinion, I think side actually has a better draft here. I think it's easier to implement. I think it's like a lot easier to like fundamentally cycle through like, the ideas of what you're trying to do. But blue side is definitely like one of those comps that like your team has to like kind of work together well and mesh well together. So we'll see.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think Battle of the Bulge has a composition that will rely very heavily on coordination. If they can all plan out and time their engages really well, then there's very little to nothing that the other team can do to outplay a kind of engage like that. But if they stagger it, if they whiff stuff, if they go in one by one instead of all together, then it could definitely fall apart very easily. So I would say their draft looks better on paper. However, it will definitely come down to how well they can communicate and execute that kind of comp.
Yeah, absolutely. Right now, we're just waiting on the draft to go through on League Client, and then we're gonna have to wait the 3-minute spectator delay before we can actually get into that game. But yeah, we have a little bit of time to hang out. If you're in chat waiting on the game, go get your snacks, go get your drinks. It's gonna be a banger of a series, and it's gonna be a lot of fun to watch.
Don't forget, as we're loading into this game, that you can drop your Prime sub to Valhalla Esports. The submissions are going to end up going to the prize winning team. They will end up getting their own custom jerseys, and that is why we are asking for subs.
Also, we'll love you for 30 days or more if
That's
you
true.
continue your
That's true.
subscription. So there's also a lot of incentive there.
Indeed,
Yep.
and our love is worth more than any dollar amount could ever
That's
amount
valid.
to.
That's valid.
$5 is a steal for our love, honestly.
Honestly.
Like,
That's
that is like a
that's
deal.
what I'm saying.
You're getting so much love for just $5. Like, I don't think you could spend $5 anywhere else and get nearly as much love as what you're getting here. So, I mean, it's really we're doing you a service here.
You're practically robbing us at this point.
For real.
Honestly.
Our love typically doesn't come cheap, but for you Twitch primers, it does. We got some Flame fans in the chat. It is going to be fun to see see that matchup.
Flame is on the Olaf in this matchup, and Malphite will be Hailstorm.
I'm a bit surprised that we didn't see Renekton locked in instead of Olaf. That's the champion that, based on Flame's match history, has been playing more than the Olaf, and they kind of generally do the same thing. So
yeah, I think the main reason for that is like if this is not a Mumu and it's Sejuani, 100% you're gonna get a Renekton top lane.
Mm-hmm.
But since you picked the Mumu for the MF synergy, that's like the whole point. You're probably end up picking a different hyper carry than Renekton since you don't really get all of the benefit that you'd normally get from having like Sejuani Renekton or like an Elise Renekton.
Yeah, Renekton W makes it stacks that Sejuani E passive very quickly. Also, like you mentioned, good with champions like Elise and Nidalee, point and click CC. It's definitely less necessary when you have something like an Amumu who can hit engages and CC like that a lot easier without the need for a Renekton stun. So yeah, the pick definitely makes more sense within that context.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Olaf pick can be good if he gets far enough ahead in this lane. If the Olaf gets fed enough, then it's going to be really hard for them to deal with him, just because really all of their damage is on Yone and Kaisa. Yone doesn't have the best time of dealing with Olaf until he gets a lot of items. Kaisa can start; it's kind of the same, but yeah, I think if the Olaf does kind of break away from Malphite in terms of gold lead, it can be difficult for their team to deal with them at least early. The Seraphine also doesn't really provide much in terms of disengage because of her CC not being able to stick.
Yeah, and for the league itself, the league is an assortment of people, I think all the way from silver to masters. And there's like a point system to make sure that it's even and fair.
Yeah. Everyone's got a salary. It's between like 500 salary, and I think the highest is like either
2000
16.
or no, 1750. That's what it is.
I think that sounds about right. But basically, it's based on your rank and your performance in the league. You get salaried. Every team has a minimum salary or a maximum salary. I mean, of I believe it's 4.75 million, which you have to construct a team that stays either at that salary or under to be eligible. So it is a mix of bronze all the way up to masters. I think the highest rank is like a master player or maybe a grandmaster player in our league. He teeters between master and grandmaster, but it is a league for pretty much everybody as long as the team can afford to have you.
A lot of Flame enjoyers in the chat. I'm curious to see if Flame crumbles under the pressure.
Yeah, he's got a lot of groupies in the chat. That is a lot of pressure.
No, that is true. That is true.
But that just makes him, if he wins, it makes it even more satisfying.
True, because if you win with the homies watch, and then as soon as you get back into that Discord call afterward, it's gonna be a party in there.
Absolutely. You can go back to carrying the flex games with his mates. Yeah, they could afford it. Their typical top laner is Flimsy Fence, and he is actually rated 125 K salary above Flame, so they were able to afford Flame on their roster.
Yeah, the current top laner is Flimsy Fence, and he's masters 100 LP, and he will end up coming back after this game. We will see if Flame pulls through.
Yeah, I believe after this game he should be able to continue. So the Flame Enjoyers will get one game to see Flame's dominance. So he must use his one game to show every other team why he should be a permanent member.
As we load into game, it looks like we get a red side. We're gonna get a red side invade, or a red side is going to invade on blue's red side.
I definitely like this call. Red side has a much stronger level 1 than blue side does. They could definitely get off an early cheese kill here if either Nautilus Hook or if a Mumu wants to start Q. If either of those land, then definitely a killer, at the very least a flash.
Looks like we predicted this in Seraphine getting a ward.
Yep, yeah, that is a good ward to stop that invade, so they will know that they are on their bot side. It looks like Jarvan invading to get a ward on their red side as well.
Yeah,
probably just gonna walk through. Do they stay? Oh, we got a little. Yep, looks like they're walking late back out, just dropping some vision. They'll be on their way. They might stay and try to do some late invade.
If they try to take the red buff, it will be on vision. So yeah, you can see they're backing off right now. Just gonna start on his blue. Take the safe route.
What's really important here is that we know both where each of them are starting. So we'll be able to see how they react, knowing that they're starting on opposite sides of the map.
Vagar might be getting to lane a little late. Hopefully doesn't miss too much.
Okay, so we do have the first strike misfortune build, so that will be most likely the lethality misfortune coming out.
Oh yeah, the Yomu's build.
Yep.
Lethality misfortune very
Yomu's
strong, so we see some heavy trading up here in the top lane from the Olaf. Gonna chunk out that Malphite. Olaf level 1 very strong if you can run them down with axes.
Oop, Nautilus going
Nice
for the
hook.
poke, missing the hook.
Yeah, gonna get stopped by the minion there as the blue side bot lane gets level 2 first. Gets some good poke down on Nautilus, and that's gonna be first blood.
Going for tactic. Oh, and we see nice play from Jarvan here, invading red side's red buff, and it looks like he's gonna get seen here by the Amumu. We'll see if this fight ends up turning out. Looks like Jarvan's slowly gonna back off. Vigar is responding, picking him off.
Oh, his misfortune getting
bot
pretty
lane
low here.
Oh, all coming from Flame.
Really strong
Heavy
trades
damage.
in your bot lane, especially
And
since
top lane here.
we would think that the red side bot lane would actually be the aggressors in this matchup, but
Yeah,
Battle
early
of the
game
Bulge.
Kaisa is kind of super strong.
Yeah, it looks
Yeah.
like the Kaisa and the Seraphine were able to just manage the wave better and get level 2 first, and were able to secure an early all-in onto the Nautilus and secure an early lead. Very well played from them.
Yeah, which means that they're definitely gonna end up securing probably this first dragon here, knowing that mid lane has an advantage here, being the Yone into Vigar, and the Kaisa now having a lead.
Malphite just surviving so far. Gonna take a base here. Olaf trying to cheese them as they would walk back into lane, but no dice as the Malphite is gonna get off the recall. Amumu securing the top river scuttle. As we see the Jarvan walking towards bot river.
aggression out from
Looks like Amuma's getting a gank. Blunt getting caught here.
We're gonna be able to
Engage
catch
a little
the
bit
Yone.
too early.
Minions in the way, gonna deny the engage.
Ooh,
Flashes
that's a
away
flash.
from the Jarvan combo.
Super big here for battle here.
Something important that I noticed there was that the Amumu put down the cage on the Yone's E shadow, and the Yone was in there fighting long enough for the cage to wear off, so they did not actually get stunned on the way back. Very smart, good patience from the Yone there, as we see even more trading happening in the mid lane.
Yeah, we'll see about what the idea is of this early dragon. Both of them are pushing up. We assume that Yone's probably gonna back here, so I doubt they force it, but they might.
They might. Even more trading up here in the top lane. The Malphite holding their own against the Olaf. Very impressive for a very strong lane bully such as the Lof.
Yeah, we're already seeing a 10 CS deficit for the Yone in the mid lane, and getting that early aggression onto the Vagar's rather weak laning phase, where he's just looking to try to stack his Qs. Some more fist
Looks
fighting
like-
in the top lane.
Gonna be a super considerable CS lead for this Olaf here, even though it doesn't look like it right now. This wave is quite big.
Yeah, that will be probably around a 10 CS lead for Flame on the Olaf once. Flame on the Olaf once the wave.
Over going for a good Eon Seraphine.
I'm gonna get chunked out, the double ranged into
Already
Nautilus.
looking for an in-lane gank. Backing out here.
Yeah, I
Olaf
think
in
it's a
this
little.
position.
Gonna
I think it's a
pop
little
the
tough.
ghost. Is not
Doesn't
able
get
to secure a
capitalized.
kill or a flash. Trading ghost for nothing there. Feels a little bit bad for Flame there on the Olaf. But not the end of the world.
Battle going for the first dragon here, super big.
Yeah, he will get some pressure off that ghost. He trades his ghost for a lot of health off Hailstrom. Most likely is going to have to either flash or possibly just teleport, since he's low health. He's going to be level 5 with the Olaf level 6, so here's a Flame tries to go for some type of dive here.
Good look for it. It's a pretty
around
big
it.
wave. He's
And
thinking
he
about
gets
it.
6. Yeah, he just popped 6, so he might just let the wave get thinned out and try to poke a little bit more under tower. Can't get the E off quite, a little bit too far in tower range. Hailstorm will have to TP back. Flame might try to stop his back.
Bit too far away to get him with an axe there.
Yeah. Also not.
Looking for an invade on Jarvan's blue side right now.
Yeah,
His
Jarvan's
pull off
entire
really
blue
good.
side is up. I would have liked to see Keanu kind of invade more on Tack Alley's blue side, that their bot lane is so far pushed in a little while ago after the dragon, but looks like
Playing a
taking advantage
pretty conservative.
Yeah.
Pretty
Yeah,
conservative.
Tack Alley.
Jarvan.
Go for some
don't
straight
get any
mid
damage.
lane.
Great.
Tack Alley looking like trying to get a gank
Oh,
off of
over.
the lane.
Oh, almost.
Good reaction
Flash
as
for
we see a
flash.
gank here in the top lane. Flash, barely whiffs on the Q, but secures the Malphite flash, so that's no sums on the top laner there.
Lane securing Scuttle for looks like just the extra 77 gold.
That was a really nice reaction from the Veigar on that Yone engagement for, but it might not matter.
Getting the Q.
The Ignite
That's a
Q,
solid kill
and that
from
is a
Malphite.
Looks like
dead
that'll finish
Veigar.
him. Yeah, and Malphite coming for this cure, just in case if it didn't end up working out.
Yeah, they're gonna be able to push that out, get a pretty nice base off.
Yep, it looks like Olaf is going to end up trying to set up this Herald. It's going to end up spotting Jarvan. Looks like there might be a fight here. Jarvan having the EQ out. Getting deep vision, which is super big. Mumu and Olaf are going to start Herald. Jarvan clearing out the vision. I assume they end up giving it because Yone is on it back and can't really respond.
Yeah, definitely an awkward timer for Yone to help out there.
Yeah. Nautilus even coming there to secure it too. It looks like it'll be... Oh, a fight coming out. Jarvan leaving. Oh, flashing the Malphite R. And Flame getting a kill. Clean flash from Olaf, dodging the Malphite R prediction.
Really nice
Super
flash
big.
from Flame.
Yeah,
Definitely the difference maker there.
That is very big for Titan Gaming Mox here, getting the Herald advantage, but we are getting one plate bot lane, punishing Arma a little bit under tower, but he should be able to get majority of that wave, so Arma not really losing too much for his support being missing. Only 5 CS lead for Tactic in that bot lane.
CS numbers pretty even across the board. Yone with a 10 CS up on Veigar, and Response Flame with a 10 CS lead on the Malphite, so generally pretty even numbers across the board.
Oh yeah, we're less than we're just only a 500 gold differential in this game right now, which might even get closer once the Herald is dropped and some plates are obtained from that. So it is definitely a very close game right now.
Oh, a nice double Seraphine ultimate going in on the bot lane here. Kai'Sa focusing down the Misfortune, uses the ultimate to secure that kill. As the Nautilus ultimate slows down the Kai'Sa a little
and the
bit, but a
flash
nice
taken out.
disengage.
I mean,
Looks like this guy will be able to set up for Dragon again. We'll see if Tactic resets here or not. He's probably pretty close to Static Shiv here.
Tactic and Covert Panda not even needing their jungler, just able to get the 2v2 kill there onto Arma. So definitely Battle's bot lane playing
Looking
super
for an
well.
engage. Nice Veigar cage coming out.
Veigar Cage gonna stop both of them as the Herald is
Malphite
dropped
looking like
top.
he's gonna get died.
Yeah, the minions getting there in time though, gonna be able to block any potential Mumu engage. Do they still go for the dive? I doubt
They
it.
don't have a Mumu ult quite yet, so I think now they have it.
Oh, a
so
flash! Getting the stun, a Mumu ult, and the Olaf ult, going to secure that Malphite, getting one return kill back as the Nautilus gets engaged on. No flash, he will certainly be dead there.
It looks like there will be free dragon. MF getting caught here for sure. He got the
Oh,
flash, the Jarvan EQ. It looks like he might just die. Yep, nice attack.
Yep. Dies anyway. Kaisa expending the flash as well.
Yep, and looks like Vigar might be caught in a very bad position here, as Yone is going to be able to maybe get the E out here in 5 seconds or so. Yone, give him the back.
Yeah, Vagar pretty low, but Yone doesn't want to take any unnecessary risks.
Yeah, it looks like we're going for Blade of the Rune King Yone first item. So maybe, instead of it being Malphite into Olaf in side lane, it's going to be Yone into Olaf and then Vigar into Malphite.
I definitely think Malphite, you definitely don't want that champion in a side lane. You want him to be in the team fight where he can get the most mileage out of his ultimate. So being able to have Yone able to match that Olaf a little better, definitely a smart call. That's what ends up happening.
Yeah, and I like a little bit that we built Grievous Wounds on Vigar before first item. I think it might have been a little bit inefficient, but I am down for it nonetheless. Looking like we might be going for a
The double Seraphine E lands onto the Nautilus, but the Nautilus ultimate gonna stop out that Jarvan engage.
Oh, yeah,
That's
Astral
gonna go
Blast
for
Olaf.
Trinity to stop the Jarvan from going forward there. Jarvan did not have ultimate, but still did not want to threaten the EQ onto Nautilus.
Yeah, Flame getting early access to Jarvan's blue side right now as he's proxying the top wave. He's gonna let the wave pass through in exchange for taking blue buff and Gromp.
Yeah, the Olaf gonna be able to steal away the blue buff there, unless he can smite it in time. As we see another engage here in the mid lane. This might be a dead Vagar. The stun coming in. One more auto might do it. Oh, barely.
Barely.
The Olaf gonna be able to pop the ultimate.
Oh, there was the
You do not want
scenario.
to be in that cage with them.
Like I said,
Yeah.
he's not stuck in there with you. You're stuck in there with him.
Flame waiting out his W cooldown here.
Oh, yes. Oh, nice plant grab. Doesn't.
Yeah, barely wasn't able to get that W off. If he did, there might have been a world where he wins that 1v1, but the Malphite there going to be able to secure that shutdown, maybe swing that lane a little more in his favor. Probably will have a Iceborne Gauntlet on his next base.
Yep, looks like we get first items coming out from blue side first. Looks like most people hitting their first items around this point.
Ooh, Takeaway going for the kill here.
Yeah, he just
got him. I mean, well played Takeaway to get that shutdown off of the Malphite there, punish him for staying for additional plays.
Yeah, that's also the downside. That's also the downside of building Iceborne and Steel Caps is you have 0 magic resist with that build. So a Mumu with Demonic Embrace is going to be able to melt you.
Yeah, I mean, Malphite definitely wants to build like an Abyssal Mask or some sort of magic resist item ASAP for out of lane with the Amumu and Vagar. Gonna do a lot of damage.
Seraphine barely using the E.
Seraphine rushing Rylai's Crystal Scepter. I really like this. The interaction with her E allows much more consistent CC with that item.
And
Yeah, it allows you to use your double ability for your W basically, and just not have to use double E to CC people. It's pretty good.
Yep, Mumu getting Rift Trail for free as Olaf is being a little bit overextended here. Probably gonna take.
Yeah, I figured that let's see, we're getting some action here. Trying to get engaged on, flashes over the wall.
Yone flashes, and it is enough.
That was a clean kill by Montblanc. Yeah,
I
was imagining that it would be Keanu Reeves to be focusing more around mid-top area, but it seems like that the roles are actually swapped. Takeaway's been paying heavy attention to the top side, while Keanu's been favoring the bot half of the map.
Yeah, we can only assume that it was majority from the first blood coming out for tactic.
Yeah, definitely wanting to play to the strong side of the map.
and
Looks
putting
like
that
backing a bit
pressure.
late, in my opinion.
Oh,
Ooh,
as we see
over
us down
Panda
the
getting
Seraphine.
caught.
Could this be a one
Are
shot?
coming out a bit
Oh.
early.
Yeah, ulting a little too early, not getting the maximum execute damage there. Still gonna chase
will
him
be enough
down. Yeah, it's gonna kill
And
him.
it looks like that'll be a give to Dragon for Red side.
Red side
Yeah,
gonna
I
be
mean,
able to pick up their
tactic
first
is-
dragon here,
I mean-
most likely.
Keanu is positioned to possibly try and steal this. He can put his flag over the wall for vision.
We will see.
I wonder if that's
If he
even
gets
worth
it, it's kind
risking
of big,
though.
but I don't know if it's yeah.
I mean, getting the. I mean, possibly if he thought he was able to get the steal, I think getting the third dragon would have been worth
it,
if he
yeah.
thinks he could have gotten it, but he played it safe and just tried to poke over the wall, maybe get a miracle 1 out of 1,000 steal on that with his this flag and drag. But,
It looked like it was a bit of a mistimed smite, so there could
Yeah.
have been a potential steal there,
Yeah,
but
I think it lived on 1 HP.
mhm.
yeah.
So it really could have been. Really could have.
All right, so Janelle has
Oh.
arrived, so he,
Monkblanc going for engage. It looks like Nautilus might
oh,
fall
he's
here.
going for the ult.
Clean.
Yeah,
Seraphine
that
coming
kill.
out super huge. And the keeping out from Yone,
Monkblanc
and that'll
is
be a double
just-
kill.
He is just going all in on these
Oh.
Yone plays. He's
Vygar,
playing super well.
Oh yeah.
Vygar overextending the Malphite. Gage comes out, doesn't really matter.
Let's have
Malphite's
all
swinging
this.
around a
Around.
bit, still has the ultimate.
Oh,
Little delay,
Oh,
and,
and the
yep,
ult.
that's,
boom.
that's the solo bolo.
Getting
Flame
caught
1v2
by
in
the
here.
Jarvan using the ultimate,
Oh.
but gets exhausted.
it is getting overextended here. Kick
I
is
think
super
I
strong
remember.
here. Will cover
It
and it
flash
hit
and
the
goes
E.
away. Will it will live from that. Did have to use both of his sums to live that. Tactic used exhaust. He wasn't really able to continue.
I
Yeah,
like
I think-
Montblanc just standing there menacingly there, just staring at the Amumu.
Yeah, he's definitely the powerhouse of battle right now. Coming in kind of super huge with this 60 CS lead, or 50 CS lead, I say.
Maelstrom coming for revenge on Tack Alley. Tack Alley flashing the wall. I think he was assuming there would be more follow up there from their team, but was not much there to be afraid of.
Oh, Montblanc might be overextending here. Goes for the MF, hits it. Goes back early. Oh, Ali
Yeah,
going
has to
for it.
back him up.
Jarvan R coming huge. Oh, R coming in.
Big
Big
MF.
R. But it doesn't matter as oh, and he barely lives the MF and the turret. Super big.
Covert
I think-
Panda really big on helping save his mid laner there, coming back into some CC and healing for his mid laner.
The only response from red side is going to be one bot tier 1 tower in the bot lane by Flame. Definitely a losing trade for red side overall.
Yeah,
So
as
next
this lead
game-
just keeps getting bigger for Yone.
Yeah, Yone holding the majority of blue side's 3k gold lead here, while also being ahead in the bottom lane. Definitely gonna have much stronger team fights coming into these later Dragon and Baron plays.
Yeah. At the moment, I'm super confused about Vygar's build right. I think he might have not understood that he didn't build first item yet, and he built Kindle Gem for Seraphs.
It could have been that, or it could have been not being able to decide
Changing the
between changing between Ludens and Everfrost on the fly.
Yeah.
But definitely delaying that first item on Vagar, not a good look. Definitely gonna be doing much less damage and gonna be much less impactful in these team fights than the counterpart mid laner.
I think you went to the bargain bin at Walmart and you just picked some items out there. That
Yeah,
look cool.
that's
kind of what it
yeah.
looks like.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. You got it.
The
Oh, we
dartboard
do
on his
decide to go
wall.
for the Everfrost. You were right about the Everfrost pickup, so
Yeah.
maybe he was going for Ludens and decided to go for the Everfrost instead.
Unfortunately, the blasting one does not build into either two components that he's sitting on. It does not build
Yeah.
into the Morel Nomicon
Nomicon.
anymore, and it does not build
Yeah.
into Seraphs anymore. So kind of an awkward blasting one that he has to sit on for now until he can figure out what exactly he's going to build with that.
I mean, the only item you really got that Vygar builds with Blasting One is going to be, what is it called?
Probably
Wait.
Void Staff.
Void.
Yeah,
Yeah,
as
Void
Flame
Staff
going
is-
for a trade on Hailstorm.
Hitting
They're
these
being the one to
axes,
start
doing
running.
some nice damage down.
You coming out for Malphite.
They might
Looks
have
like
to
it
use the
will be
Malphite
enough.
to get out.
Goes
Yep,
for
he's
the
gonna-
flash.
Okay,
Uses
so
flash. Uses R.
Flash and ult. Okay, so he uses Flash and ult. Flame holding on to his Ghost and ultimate, trying to just wait and see if.
Looks like since we see Flame bot lane, we will go for this early Baron.
Yeah, this is an interesting call from blue side. It looks like red side's not even going to be responding to it, just
Red
electing to
side.
take the dragon instead.
Except the dragon's not up for another 5 seconds. It's possible that blue side could try to rotate over and try to contest if they want, but they most likely won't do that, just considering
Yeah,
that they
as
don't
Yone
have their ult on
backs.
Malphite. Yeah, they don't have their ult on Malphite, so they're just gonna let red side take the dragon trade for the Baron and push
We'll
out
take
mid.
the push out mid lane. Hopefully get turret here. Maybe not get caught by their red side's entire team.
I mean,
We'll
yeah,
see.
they do have all ults up on the
oh,
side of Titans.
Tactic
They
gets
are
caught.
really-
Has to blow flash.
Yeah, luckily only has to blow the flash there and not have to give over any of these shutdowns.
Oh.
As Keanu Reeves is going to be going for a bit of an engage. Not going to mount
Flame
anything. As the
canceling.
Seraphine ultimate only lands onto one. Jarvan going to catch the Olaf in the cage. Does not have his ultimate. Yes, he does. He's going to be able to take down the Jarvan. As Seraphine
Nice
hits
here.
a nice double root into a Muar that doesn't hit anyone. 3-man Yone
Huge.
ultimate into a Malphite ultimate gets flashed away from. And Flame barely going to go down after a huge team fight. The Nautilus Hook's going to land onto Hailstrom, who's going to be tanky as heck, but not going to be able to get any return kills. Almost gets one of the Misfortune, but barely goes down at the end. So a nice team fight coming in from red side. Going to swing the gold lead somewhat back into salvageable territory. Does not get the shutdown on the Yone, unfortunately, but other than that, you're feeling a lot better for red side.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Flame played that team fight amazingly. There was some mistakes on red. There was some mistakes on blue side. You know, both junglers missing some key things, but
Yeah,
as
I
it ends up going for red
definitely
side.
Jarvan ulting the Olaf, not the target you want to be hitting
Oh.
with that.
He Jarvan ulted and then it didn't flag and drag out. He missed the flag and drag.
Keanu kind of just was trying to wall off the Olaf, but the rest of his team wasn't in any position to actually hit Olaf, so did not hit the flag and drag on the way out. So he was kind of just stuck in there with the with Olaf,
Super
just
fed
getting
Olaf.
smacked. Yeah, just getting kind of smacked. I think it also is unfortunate that Yone doesn't have his second crit item yet, so he is sitting at 50% crit chance with the IE.
As he does
So
decide to go for the Ma.
yeah, so he's not really getting the full 100% crit damage off on the. He did hit a really good ultimate, just wasn't really able to have the damage or the time to actually kill any of the targets.
Definitely good patience on him, though, to not overextend in that team fight and give away his 1k gold shutdown.
Oh yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Yeah, so right now
It
we're
looks
just
like he
kind
might
of,
get caught here by Amumu. That ends up getting away. Looks like
so right now we're kind of just sitting around.
they're
trying
really
to-
trying to get this Yone kill to get back into this game. If
Yeah.
MF gets that Yone kill, it's kind of a big turnaround. Oh, Malphite
Yeah.
looking for the R on MF. Oh,
Good
MF
flash.
clean flash. Oh, the Seraphine R coming out.
That
Oh,
gets
nice
flashed
flash by
away as
Mumu
well.
too. Oh,
Oh, they're
engage from
turning on
Amumu.
Hailstrom. Does not have not Malphite at all. Huge
Clean
Amumu.
R.
Gonna be able to chunk out Yone pretty
Yone
hard
back
here.
And it looks
Should
like
be a
shutdowns
cleanup
are
by
gonna come
Arma.
out. Oh,
Oh, bot block.
clean play
Huge
by
kill.
Yone.
Clean kill, but the shutdown does go to the Amumu, that 1,000 gold shutdown. Better definitely than the Misfortune or the Vagar,
Yeah.
but
Mhm.
ultimately is giving away that large shutdown over.
He does
So it
end up
ended up
finishing
being
them all because of that.
Yes, it did end up being a 3-for-3, so honestly it's probably better for
For red side
oh,
at this point.
Vintage is getting heavily chunked.
Tactic does have R.
Yeah, I'm surprised he actually didn't go for
Uh,
that. He could have just sniped him or ulted off to the side and just cleaned
Yeah.
up that kill.
I'm also
Mhm.
surprised to see that Tactic has gone with the Navori Quickblade's second item. Normally these days on Kaisa, you see a static shiv into Nashor Sooth Rageblade to make use of the AP scaling on the static shiv's damage, but opting for Navori Quickblades instead, as Flame opts to just run up, flash onto him, and beat the crap out of him.
He did the Olaf thing where he did the Olaf thing where he just slammed his button or his hand on all of his buttons and just killed him.
Yeah, if it works, it works.
I mean, yeah, I agree. I think that if you're going for the Navori Quick Blades, it's better to go Kraken Slayer as your item
yeah.
instead of the Static Shiv, just because you get more auto attacking strength.
You also don't really need the wave clear this game that Static Shiv gives, so it seems like the only real reason you build it here is if you're gonna actually go the AP build, which makes sense here. But it seems like we do end up going for the Navori, and it looks like we're also building that seems to be Phantom Dancer.
Phantom Dancer, yep, it's Phantom Dancer. Yeah, I would have liked to see the Kraken here, just because it synergizes much better with those two items.
Nice art. Synergizing with
Seraphine. But Olaf is going to go in. Flame
do we get to finish it? Flash from Yone to not die.
Does get killed there. Jarvan gonna be able to engage on that Amumu and secure that kill for a huge team fight victory for blue side.
Yeah, it was a very poor play by Red Bull not to end up playing around this MF, even though she is 0-4 right now. That she is kind of like that main source of damage until Olaf can get onto people. So
yeah, it is. As Red side, you really can't sit in these chokes against the Yone Seraphine ult. You're just gonna get repeatedly engaged on every time they see you lined up in a choke point like that.
And it does seem like we are gonna get Baron here too.
They'll probably will be able to secure this before Red side gets back. I doubt there's going to be able to be any form of contest, and there is not.
Red side did end up finally getting the mid lane tower for in response to the dragon, but yeah, definitely both the dragon and the Baron very huge for blue side. It's gonna have a really strong push coming up out of this downtime while they're waiting for their soul to spawn. They can get maybe a pick somewhere and try to actually push their Baron advantage to get some of these in-hit towers down.
Yeah, it does seem like not going for the crit item on 4th item Yone. It looks like we are going for that seems to be Death Stance.
Yeah,
it does appear to be Death Stance, yes.
Yeah. See, I feel like if you're going to go with this kind of Bruiser Yone build, we might have not wanted to go IE. I'm just not sure if... I feel like with IE, you kind of want a second crit item just to maximize your damage on that item. I would have wondered if something maybe like a Gale Force would have been.
Yeah, I think the item is good, knowing that you're super ahead on Yone at this point, and the defensive items coming out is more to make sure that you don't end up in this huge gold lead. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
And making the safe play on it, I think it's completely valid here.
But I definitely think something like a Bloodthirster would have been good to get that defensive survivability in fights while also being able to get to that 100% crit chance.
Yeah. I do agree with you.
Going for an engage on Hailstorm here.
Engaging on
looks like he is going to get caught. Seraphine with an E on Flame. Oh, Seraphine are coming out.
Olaf doesn't care.
Olaf doesn't care. All in. And it looks like... They will fall here.
Crap out of the Kaisa. He is smacking around everyone as Malphite maybe manages to get out. Zooms over the wall.
He does end up getting out, and that play costed Vygar dying from a bot side pick from Yone as well as bot turret, and it looks like also mid turret.
That was definitely. I mean, they definitely did get some standing gold on the map for blue side for losing that, but definitely a huge play on red side getting the kills on both the bot laners and getting the top line tower for Flame.
Standing there as Flame kind of losing this. Actually has the ultimate back up though.
Oh, has the ultimate. Jarvan EQ
Jarvan's
coming in. Doesn't matter.
Oh,
and the art
that kill.
Yeah, now that Hailstorm does have the Thornmail fully completed, it is a little harder for Flame to actually, fully just all in him. He can definitely fight back now that he has enough armor to beat him there.
Curious how much armor that Malphite actually has. It has to be in the 300s at least.
Yeah, we decided to go for double aggressive item Yone into triple defensive, which I'm like kind of completely down for. It looks like we're gonna have Death Dance, Monk, and GA here.
Yeah, I think it's fine. I think the build is fine. I don't think it's that bad. I just almost wonder if, because of how ahead he was, maybe if he almost went like even IE into like maybe a Bloodthirster into the defensive items, it might have been. But I can see the valid purpose of the items he's building. I like the Death Dance and the Maw now that he's this ahead. It's just I think it's a little awkward that he isn't able to get the crit, but might not even really need it if he's just
maybe
if
you
his
end up
purpose.
selling the foods for super aggressive play. Not getting hit at all by any of the CC though.
Yeah,
you
It does look like we are
a
going for
bit
this
close
soul
to the
point.
sun there.
Oh,
Forcing
it looks
Momo's
like we
flash out.
trade both flags.
I don't actually like that from Jarvan before the Yeah, I don't like that before the.
Yone getting caught.
All right, so
We're
that's
gonna use R. Oh, late Mari
Olaf is running in.
on Seraphine.
Alright, he did keep up the ultimate. Hailstorm
Malphite ultimate, but where's the follow-up?
Knockblock doesn't have
and that
ultimate.
stun.
Knockblock ends up dying.
Ultimate.
And Olaf still killing Jarvan on the back end. And it looks like this is a big play coming for Red
Pack's
Side
still
here.
alive, getting a lot of hits off, but is gonna have to run away. I mean,
it's just the big problem now that like you didn't build AP here, so like you just only have one type of damage here. That's like really what you get down to.
I think the bigger issue is that I think Keanu really shouldn't have tried to go. Like, his team was nowhere near that Amumu to get the ult in like that, and the Amumu just flashes out and is fine, and then you don't have Jarvan ult for this fight.
You also have to
carry the Olaf.
Okay, you also had the flash to get that play in the first place, so didn't really make much sense.
Yeah, definitely. Amumu much more useful in that team fight than the Jarvan was because of that earlier
Olaf
play.
is getting spouted out. Tactic here. Yeah. I feel like if you're not going AP Kaiser here, I think you go Leandries on Seraphine instead of Echoes.
Yeah, Leandries definitely wouldn't have been a bad pickup on the Seraphine. Definitely does feel bad to build damage when you're playing a support, but I do agree that the lack of AP damage on blue side is definitely hurting them more and more the longer this game goes.
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest issue in that fight was also just that Jarvan and Yone literally didn't have ultimates up. If Yone was able to ult when Malphite ulted, it would have been a completely different fight, but he had to use his ult to get out.
Yeah, the Malphite ult was big, but there was just zero follow-up onto it. As we get a Baron start from blue side here.
Yeah, just
Veigar does have TP. I don't.
Coming out. Yone is fighting with Olaf right now. Oh, it's big. It's too big. Olaf is gonna get so much here.
The Flag and Dragon didn't go up this time.
We didn't end up able to flash the MF here. Yeah, it looks like Olaf's just gonna clean up everybody. Yeah. This is where it gets kind of doomed. Red side was able to come back to the late game because of Flame's super aggressive plays in the mid game.
Yeah, just unfortunately, without any with all the defensive items on Yone, the awkward build path from Kai'Sa, there just really isn't any damage to deal with this Olaf right now.
Yeah, and it looks like this will be the end of the game. Yeah, it should be. They can't really answer with it. Olaf has R again, so he does.
Yeah, I don't think that was a good time to start Baron realistically, but that is going to be our game one. We're going to have some different people coming in for game two. I believe Janao is back to take Covert Panda's spot, and then I'm not sure if Flimsy is back to take Flame's spot, but that's
as we know, Flimsy should be able to take it. But we will see.
Flame. I will say Flame did. Flame did.
Flame did
Flame
great
the MVP.
If we want to talk about MVP for game one, I mean, you look at damage charts and I mean, clear answer here, as Flame coming out with the Olaf is super huge here. His engages were clean. Very nice swift plays coming out, and putting Hailstorm behind on the Malphite definitely made a big issue coming out for battle here, as they end up approaching this point in the game where they don't deal damage and Malphite isn't tanky enough to tank everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I just think that Battle couldn't really keep a hold of their lead, and just the fact that the builds were a little bit made from the position of they're ahead, so they want to stay ahead. Once they kind of lost their grip on that, they weren't really able to recover.
Yeah, I'm just really sad about the builds these games, to be honest. I think Olaf played it well. I think Mont Blanc played it well. I think Tactic played it well. I just think the builds kind of really let him down in those late game fights.
Okay, guys, let's keep it a little civil in chat. You know, we still got
Yeah, we
still got possibly 2 more games to
two
play.
more games here, so
It's definitely still, Battle of the Bulge can still come back and still can take, the overall victory. Let's be a little civil.
Yeah, certainly wasn't a complete blowout. Definitely, if they can
super close game.
Yeah, definitely very close game. Definitely very correctable mistakes by Battle of the Bulge. And going into game 2, I think they can definitely be able to perform and potentially make a comeback win.
Do we need a break here, boys, or are we good to
I'm down just to get straight into game 2 draft.
All right.
Yeah,
well,
I'm good.
I'm pulling up the draft low right now. They haven't started quite yet. Let me see if I can do the streaming on here, and they can we can have Beard show that.
Most people are just giving humble corrections inside of chat. We aren't flaming you for anything that you were doing. It's more like we were trying to make sure that it's everyone gets better as we play these games out.
Yeah, absolutely. Everyone's here to have fun and play in a competitive league setting, and I think we're all here to improve. At the end of the day, nothing that is being said is going at the person. We're just providing constructive advice.
Not me though. I'm directly attacking each and every
Yeah,
person
yeah,
that I
yeah.
talk about.
Yeah.
Console C is console
Yes.
C is going right for the throats, but
Nah,
can't really do
all
much about
jokes, all
that.
jokes. Definitely just want to help people improve, talk about things that we see. Obviously, heat of the moment, mistakes are going to be made. I know I sure as heck make plenty in the games I play, but at the end of the day, we're all just trying to play a game we all like and have some fun doing it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Just giving our own opinion on how the game turned out and why it turned out that way.
Mm-hmm.
Not that there's any fault. Yeah, I'm excited to see how Battle turns this draft around. I feel like draft could have gone a little bit better. Although we didn't see Titan punish the picks, but Seraphine is going to be on Titan's side this game probably if they don't ban it here. So we will see. We will see. Seraphine currently 0-1, so we'll see if she ends up getting banned or she might go 0-2 or to 50-50.
Yeah, I think the Seraphine was definitely did a lot that game. The problem is that champ is beyond useless against Olaf, and that was
Yeah.
the fact that Olaf was the main threat on their team just made Seraphine completely a non-factor. Other than that, she hit some really good ultimates, was definitely very useful in the fights outside of Olaf. However, again, it's just Olaf. You can't do anything
Yeah.
about that character as Seraphine.
Yeah, the Olaf pick did end up being very effective in that game. I think there was a lot of mistakes in terms of like there was a few missed Jarvan ults that, weren't quite able to help peel off the Olaf, and it was a little bit hard for them to actually
and
not help the Olaf get scaling.
Olaf was able to capitalize on all of the mistakes. So
Yep,
I
exactly.
think
Yeah,
it was good place. Good place. I don't no
yeah,
real
Flame.
Flame played really well. And talking about that, we'll have to see if he will be put on the MVP pool at the end of the series. So see. We'll see.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, seeing their Battle or Titans Gaming's will be going back to their full roster minus the Attack Alley subbing in the jungle. Battle of the Bulge will have their full lineup with Janelle rejoining. So definitely a completely different next two games, possibly.
Yeah, completely different atmosphere.
If Battle is able to come back. Flimsy is still a force to be reckoned with in the top lane, so should expect another hard carry top laner for Titan Gaming Mox. And Janelle playing kind of similar picks, maybe not exactly the Seraphine, but might play more of the things like the
supportive, and
Senna
then
or the
maybe some hard engage. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean,
We will see
definitely.
indeed.
The teams right now are currently waiting. I
And
believe
discussing for how they're going to go through draft.
Yeah. So right now we're kind of just hanging out, waiting for
Well,
everything to happen.
Before draft starts, if you guys have, oh my god, it already started.
Oh,
I
it
was going to
started.
go to
Well,
my sub tank.
get your Twitch Primes in.
That-
Draft is
that's
starting.
what I was gonna say.
Yes.
All right,
Damn.
so we got Evelyn
It
ban
did
coming
me
out
dirty.
again. We really don't want Keanu on his best champion, so we are going to
Yep.
take that away right away. Another Kennen
up
ban
banning
for Battle of
Kennen
the
ban.
Bulge. So I believe we're taking that away from Flimsy. Titan Gaming possibly banning the Yone out here.
Banning the
Let's
Yone
see
because
if
of how well he played the first game. Completely valid.
Yeah, I mean, definitely don't want to give that back to Mont Blanc. He did play very well on that.
We end up banning the Seraphine.
Okay, so they don't want Bentage now that Titan Gaming Mox on blue side. They know they'll first pick Seraphine if it's left up, so they ban that. Also banning the Ahri away from Mont Blanc as well.
And we ban the
And then
Morgana from
Morgana.
the
So we
mid
ban
laner.
we double ban Bentage, and then we ban Kennen still again. Are gonna first pick a Mumu possibly again for
Yeah, it
Tack
looks like
Alley.
you might get the same comp. You might get that Mumu MF. So we'll see how they respond to it, knowing that there's probably a high possibility you end up getting MF. On the enemy team.
Does Flimsy pick Olaf? That's the question.
That is the real question. That's the real question. As
does he also
Seraphine's
go for that?
banned, I'm not sure how useful he'll be now, but we'll see.
Maybe it's just the mental gap. Like you just don't want
Yeah,
to see that
maybe it
champion
is.
again. You just
Maybe it
you
is.
just gotta
Oh, we
tactic
end up
going
missing the
back to the
Kaisa again.
Kaisa. Yep.
Yep, back to the roots.
Kaisa. Back to the Kaisa. We'll see what build he ends up going for this game. If it's as the rest of his team develops, maybe he opts for the AP Kaisa this time around. We'll see what comes out for their second pick. Possibly a jungler support pick is what I'm expecting here.
Yeah, we assume that's a Mumu jungle, but it could be a support pick here. We do
Elise?
end up picking the Elise here.
That's a favorite of Keanu. He really loves the Elise. It's like probably his next best champion besides the Evelyn. He really does like that champion. So
yeah, we'll
I would
see what
love to
aggressive
see.
top laners we get.
Yeah. I hope that we get like an aggressive top lane matchup this game. And
we do side with going the Tristana this game. I cannot wait to see this bot lane.
Could be mid lane. That could be mid lane Tristana.
You're right. It could be mid lane Tristana. I think the Tristana that has a 76% win rate will probably take it.
Yeah, maybe.
That thing's kind of big.
surprised.
I am heavily favored in picking ADC for Tristana this game. But
Yeah, I
we'll
don't
see how
think
the magic
Bentage.
works.
I don't think Bentage plays Tristana. I just know that it's a strong mid laner
Oh
at
yeah,
the moment.
and people
but,
and people and people like picking it. So
yeah, it's
I think it's a
absolutely
fine bike pick. We still
yeah.
have
So
double flex technically for
yeah,
Titan.
yeah. Technically double flex. We think it's gonna go jungle and bot lane. Yep, that's
Oh,
gonna
we
be the
do pick the
Lulu. So
Lulu.
most likely Tristana Lulu in the bot lane. Amumu jungle. Technically could see Bentage play Lulu, but I don't think it's gonna happen. So
Yeah,
right now
I
we're just
like.
gonna
I
we're
would
going
like to.
Thresh.
Oh, we do end up picking Thresh here. I would have
The
liked to
class.
see the mid laner picked here and then banning the mid laners out, but I
Yeah, I
don't
mean
mind the Thresh being picked here with the Thresh Kaisa combo.
that is also a classic Tristana counter, being able to flay out of the jump.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
it's a classic interaction
Also a
between.
good matchup against Lulu, able to catch her at range and pull her in.
You end up
Yep.
banning
So,
the Jax to the top lane.
yep. So we don't want to see the Jax here. I know Flimsy also plays things like Darius Renekton. He likes the early
Yeah.
game kind of aggressive top
They are
laners.
Their picks are very similar, both top laners,
Absolutely.
aside from the tanks being played on Hailstorm a little bit more.
Renekton's
Yeah,
also a
exactly.
very good pairing with Elise because the point and click CC of Renekton W can lead it right into a Elise cocoon, and then that's just a guaranteed kill every time.
So
Yeah,
a
I
mid and top lane ban. They are banning the Cho'Gath. Not sure if Flimsy loves the Cho'Gath or that's towards Ventage. I'm not sure exactly who that Cho'Gath ban is aimed at. I assume it would be
it's
top lane, but
it's lane. I think top lane has a relatively high win rate on Cho'Gath.
gotcha. Okay,
I think it
so
was 57 from when I checked.
targeting Flimsies. Okay, we're picking a scaling mid lane.
The Aurelion Soul. Okay,
Block.
I I can't. We pick Vigar. We pick Vigar into Aurelion. We pick double lane.
Yeah,
I would have liked to
mid
see
lane.
a more aggressive pick, knowing that we have a Mumu Tristana and we can really spiral this game. But
I
don't
personally
love
would have rather
it.
seen another AD mid lane pick here, just because you have the
Yeah.
Elise and the Kaisa,
Mhm.
for a little bit more, less
Yeah, so
magic
we
resistance.
assume Kaido will go the AD build this game as we
Yeah,
have Aurelion Soul Elise.
and Flimsy might look to we might look to have a Yordle comp here. Are we going full
Oh,
Yordles? Are we going
It
Are
five
actually
we?
Yordles?
could be.
It
It
could be
could
the
be
5
5
Yordle
Yordles.
dream.
Holy.
They could. They could.
Titan Gaming Yordles, are we gonna see it? We're seeing Titan Gaming Yordles.
Let's
Let's
go.
go.
Yeah. So as we know, Tristana is the counter pick to Aurelion Soul. I think we just don't have a real
I don't
learning
think
of
I
mid
don't
lane
yeah,
mastery
yeah.
of Tristana, so that's the
Yeah,
only reason why we want
yeah.
to bring it there.
Nameplate's off. You put the Tristana mid. However,
Yeah,
I
for
don't
sure.
think Vintage plays that. And the Urgot coming out.
We
That's
picked Urgot. So there's the aggressive pick that we were kind of looking for. It's not like super aggressive, like as we wanted, but
I
Urgot,
don't.
I don't know.
I
I feel
I
like
don't love Urgot into Gnar. I think Gnar
yeah.
is hard for Urgot to actually play into, just because
Yeah, I
Urgot
just
really doesn't want to play against range champs.
yeah,
And
I feel
they're
like it would have been good to pick you pick what is it, Jace here if you can actually play it into Gnar. And then you have
I think out
Elise
of
and
the
Jace, but
I think out of the champs Hailstrom plays, I think he could have. I mean, I just think he was put into a harder position based on his champion pool specifically, because I
yeah.
think Mordekaiser would have been good here, but you're kind of all AP. I think there's you could play a tank here, like he could play the Maokai into the Gnar. He could play like maybe the Ornn, something like that. But again, you're just so much AP that I think it's just hard for him specifically. I know Hailstrom loves his juggernauts and his tanks, so I just think that his pool got pinched a little bit here in terms of what's good into Gnar compared to not really having much else AD on the comp.
Yeah, I think this comp is, again, it's the same situation we had from game 1. Titan's comp is just super easy to execute. As
I would
battles is kind of hard to execute. We have like
I,
this weird. We don't really have a real tank.
I would have really liked to see Hailstrom pull out his Tryndamere or his Fiora. I think that
Yeah.
would have been a really good
Mhm.
option into this because both those champs are pretty decent into Gnar. They're able to gap close onto him, and they're also good split pushers. Which I just think that this comp that Battle of the Bulge just kind of drafted is more of a pick comp and not really a team fight comp. With the Elise, the Thresh, Kaisa, you kind of just want to pick people off in sides. You don't really want to force a team fight against a Mumu, Veigar, Lulu, Tristana. So I would have probably liked to see more of a split pusher here from Hailstrom, but hopefully they can make the comp work. We can get some early aggression out of the Elise, and maybe they can get ahead. They can punish the Gnar early. Doesn't have his jump is a really high cooldown, and maybe we can get a cocoon into Urgot flip and try to get that lane going. Or really camp the bot lane. Either is fine.
What are you thinking for who's benefiting here? Who's actually going to come out on top this game? Take away the nameplates. What do you got? What are you thinking here? You on side with Titan as I am?
I think Titan just has a much more cohesive draft. I think Battle has a bit more of a I don't think their picks are aligned in terms of I think their first three picks are on brand, and then I think their second two picks are a little different. Like I think Urgot and Aurelion Sol want people to try to come into them, whereas Thresh, Elise, and Kai'Sa want to try to pick someone off. So I think it's just a little bit of a kind of a mismatch. I think the comp can still work. In a vacuum. I just think that in practicality, it might not. It might just be a lot harder to pull off than Titan Gaming's. I think Titan Gaming's comp is a lot easier to pull off.
Yeah, and as we know, Titan won game one, and we will see if this game two ends up leading to the game three.
I mean, Titan probably already wins automatically because they have 5 Yordle, which means they can get a
Oh, true.
4-star Tristana and a 4-star Lulu, which means that's just game over right there.
Or if you go to set one, they just get all the dodge chance. So
True.
that's also
Oh,
shout
no.
out shout out set one.
Don't remind me. Don't remind me.
Yeah, they get access to a lot of dodge chance there. So yeah, I mean, it definitely should be an exciting game. I would like to see a lot of aggression out of in the top lane specifically from Battle. I would like to see them try to get this Urgot rolling and just let Aurelion Sol and Kai'Sa and Thresh. Maybe Thresh can get some roams off possibly if Kai'Sa's opting for like the static Shiv build again. So she can wave clear safely bot lane. Thresh can roam around with the Elise and try to get some picks off. That's personally what I would like to see from them. Is because if they, I think if they get scaling, I just think that the Yordles are gonna be hard to take down.
It's real risky though, because if you leave Kai'Sa alone and the Trist realizes that she's alone, you can just jump on her, blow her the frick up, and there's not really much a Kai'Sa can do about that other than just E and try to run away. So definitely we'll have to make sure that Kai'Sa is able to survive on her own if the Thresh wants to make any roam plays.
Yeah, I feel like the idea here is if we're able to catch Tristan making a greedy play, you get to capitalize on it. That's a majority of their hitting power, but we'll see how well Lulu decides to protect Tristana and how Tristana plays the game.
Yeah, I think what could end up happening, and this is the kind of curse when it comes to playing enchanters with very high mobility AD carries like Tristana, where Tristana might just end up jumping in and getting too far away from the Lulu, so she can't use her ultimate shield, that sort of thing, to keep the Trist alive. So hopefully that doesn't happen. Hopefully it's not a situation like when a lot of LCS mid laners get thrown on Trist and they start using Trist W like a Malphite ult. But
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if he decides to honestly just look at Tristana W as like you would like Caitlyn E,
Yes.
I think you'll be like a lot more efficient. You do it as more like a backwards escape and not like trying to like engage and more just playing like this super front to back comp. While battle is going to look like for this like super dive heavy with the Elise Kaisa, and then we'll see how Urgot and Aurelion Sol play it. I'm really unsure about how these team fights like end up working out, as like Aurelion Sol is like a front to back, and Urgot is kind of an assassin slash like a back flanking top laner, but
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
unsure.
he can definitely, if he gets a good flank off, hits an E onto your AD carry, then they're, or like, or even the Veigar, or the Trist, it's definitely the team fights are going to be more in favor of the Yordle comp in a straight up front to back situation. But if they're able to, if the Thresh and Elise are able to capitalize on side lane picks well and end up snowballing the game that way, then that's definitely their best avenue to winning this game.
Yeah, for sure. I completely agree.
We got 30 seconds left. Just want to remind everyone again to please use your Twitch Prime to subscribe so we can get the most fanciest schmanciest jerseys humanly possible for the winning team for this season. Definitely want our #1 victory royale team to be looking as fly as humanly possible. So drop those Prime subs if you have not already done so. And in 5 seconds,
Yeah,
we are
we'll
gonna be getting
absolutely
into it.
we'll absolutely love you for 30 days or more if you choose to keep subbing every month.
Yes,
It'll be really
yes,
hype.
that would be pretty poggers, I think.
Plus no ads, true. Big true. Big
No
fan.
ads. Valid. You get to see the gameplay all up front. No interruption.
All right, so what skins do we think? Who won the skin the skin vote right here? Who's got the better skins?
As we look at their synergies, it looks like blue side. It looks like red side is heavily in favor of the skin war, as they are all kind of like matching together, except Elise, all in blue.
Dude, Elise dropped the ball on the blue.
Yeah, I think Amumu did the same thing for red side. If I saw that correctly, I think he went Infernal, and everyone kind of also went blue.
So we're gonna drop another ward. Are we gonna drop another ward? No, we're not.
It does look like we. Yeah.
We're not gonna do a perfect 5-point here. Red side is gonna look to sneak in here.
Yeah. We'll see if they end up running. Oh, the Tristana's running backwards. Not seeing them though.
Yeah, does
no
not
ward
yet.
spotted them out
Oh,
this
doesn't
time.
see them. Oh,
is this a flash?
Oh,
Tristana's W. That's super big. Knowing that that for they might be able to punish the level 1, knowing that they'll be able to strong.
Yeah, they'll be able to get some level 1 prio. It does suck that that Thresh had to blow flash. He does not actually have. Does he not have Hex Flash?
He does not have Hex Flash. I know.
Yeah, he has free. He has free boots on Thresh, or he has to have free boots on Thresh.
Interesting choice of runes there.
And this is a live game.
Yeah, this game is live.
Yeah, I'm curious to see, because it would have been very, not as consequential for Thresh if you had Hex Flash to blow your flash early there, but obviously not the end of the world still, unless a bot kill ends up happening on Thresh because of the no flash, then it is the end of the world completely and utterly, and they should just FF. I'm kidding.
Oh, nice hook coming out. And I'm surprised as Tristana doesn't go lethal tempo this game. Decided to go for the press the attack.
PTA also a common rune choice on Tristana. Very much better for quick short trades. Some nice lane dominance as well. Very bursty. Not going to be as prevalent in team fights as another hook lands.
Ooh, the play out of
the jump.
Lean. Do we get the
Knight is
kill?
taking,
Oh,
he
cleanse.
cleanses it as an Urgot hits the E in the top lane. Yeah, really nice use of the cleanse there from the Trist to get rid of that ignite to survive on 1 HP.
It looks like these aggressive plays from support are super prevalent on battle here.
Oh
Coming out
yeah,
from the sub as
Yeah.
well as Skyfox here.
Skyfox is, I believe, like 3 for 3 on hooks now. He's just hitting
He's
everything.
Landed them all. So, oh, yeah.
Alright, just-
And
it's
we
gotta be a
cursed her,
first.
and we cursed it. Dude.
technically didn't miss.
Like,
We didn't
technically,
say-
it landed on something.
He hit him
Technically, it
in.
landed on a minion. Yeah,
He's just
as
trying
we
to
are
get back
doing
with
for
this,
the most AFK Fest mid lane. And it looks like
Yeah,
both just are pathing for top. We will see if this 2v2 ends up coming out.
Yeah,
As we
mid
do
lane's
end up getting some
definitely-
poke from bot lane.
Mid
Nice
lane's
poke
gonna
from
be
Lulu.
very honk shoe me for the vast majority of this game until those guys get a couple items under their belt. Not gonna be doing too much active in this game.
We are going for the pick on a Mumu here.
Yeah, we're clapping
Oh.
his fiddle.
Pack has to blow
Oh.
flash. Lean
Yeah, the
play
Cocoon's
from
barely gonna miss.
holding all of the CC. Nice W coming out from dodging the thrust cube. It looks like there's this substantial CS gap coming out from Mont Blanc again.
Yeah, some
Also
pretty
on the top lane, we got a
noticeable
10
CS
CS
differences across the board. Aurelion Sol
Yeah.
and Kaisa with some nice leads, and the
And
Gnar
as
having
well
a
as Number.
pretty substantial lead in the top lane as well. Oh,
Hook
nice
landing
hook,
on the Lulu.
predicting
Oh,
the
not being
dodge.
able to poke on it. Oh, I think might be
W
getting
land,
caught
it
here.
does
Nice
not.
W coming out.
Void Seeker barely missing. Definitely would have gotten the kill on that Trist.
Yeah, if she
Tactic.
didn't have jump
Very low here.
Ooh,
and
first blood
Void
going
just
for Lulu.
walks up menacingly.
Oh, hey, it looks like we're going for a 3v2 in bot lane here. As we freeze.
Fighting in the top lane as well. Gonna lose Mega. Both bot laners very low as the cocoon
Hit it.
lands.
We can land
And
the
the
E.
E as well as
Oh,
the
really
and
well
Mont
played
Blanc
by
gets another
Keanu.
kill.
up.
Wait, but Janelle dies for what reason?
Good question.
I think he accidentally was under tower before the Aurelion.
Tower
He-
aggro.
yeah. I think there wasn't a minion under tower, so Skyfox was
gotcha.
trying to help, and then
Yeah.
at least repelled, and then he got hit.
Unlucky, but still.
I mean, at least the
overall.
kills are on the Lulu, and we get an Aurelion soul kill and an Elise kill, which are both very, very high value.
Yeah, so
Mhm.
overall, probably more positive for red side there because the kills are
Also-
on better people.
Also,
Yeah,
blue side bot lane does miss the wave under tower, so it's
Yes,
another.
indeed.
It looks like his blue is going for Dragon. Ends up getting
Well,
caught here
I
by Aurelion
don't-
Soul. Aurelion Soul getting another kill.
I don't know why we're starting Dragon on blue side.
Yeah.
That was,
I don't know.
You don't have Prio
but
anywhere.
Knowing that Aurelion Soul is super strong now, that he got the back before Vigar, and Vigar hasn't decided back, and he's still down a substantial amount of CS for the early game, as the 20 CS lead is built up for top lane.
Oh,
Flash
nice.
coming out.
another!
Hook.
Holy crap!
Clean flash
Skyfox
hook.
MVP in this game so far.
Skyfox is
Jeez.
that dude.
He is him,
Yes.
bro. He is
He is
him.
him right now. Him. It does look like, as we reel it back into frame here, Herald is coming up next, and it looks like blue side will be in more an advantage for that than red side here. We will see how mid lane plays it. See if red side ends up giving it or not.
I definitely.
There's
The
a slow push here.
Gnar is stronger a little bit than Urgot right now, but the Aurelion Soul is fairly significantly stronger than the Vagar, so
Yeah,
could be
even currently,
probably
he's back.
red side's favor. Fighting happening at the
Running
top
straight
lane.
into Hailstrom.
Yep. Will Hailstrom
Doesn't
be
get an
able
R
to
ult
capitalize
here.
on this? R comes out.
I
He
mean,
backs
yeah,
up.
Hailstrom should win this if he lands R.
Hellstrom has
Yep.
his R up still.
Doesn't go for the arc.
Oh,
lands
yeah.
it
Solo
clean from
bolo.
Hailstorm.
Really nice flash away from the Gnar E there that might have killed him, so really well played there from Hailstorm.
Oh
Yeah,
no.
it was very,
Yep.
very close.
Flame
but,
asking to be put back in already.
yeah, I mean, definitely I mean, it was really.
I mean-
I think Flimsy just thought he was going to transform a little sooner than he actually did. He did get hit by the Urgot E, and
Yeah. I
it
think the
put him at
spacing
half
was just a
health.
little bit off.
Yeah, yeah.
Urgot damage is huge for no reason. sometimes.
Flame in chat saying he would have done better. Thoughts?
Thoughts? We're not sure. Can't be in the
No.
game. Ampelon getting caught out.
You know, it's physically impossible for us to disprove that, so...
You're getting caught out here by the Elise.
Where's the Cocoon? Oh,
Cocoon?
flashes away from
Flash
the
away.
Cocoon.
Not going to be able to repel to anything
And
here.
it looks like it will be Herald in benefit of red side right now. Let's decide to do it. They might go for a camp clear instead. Do end up opting for the camp clear.
Yeah,
We'll
might be
see
a
if Mumu
play.
decides to capitalize on
So
the bot
the,
lane here.
I mean, the bot lane farm is dead even, so we're really
Yeah.
not getting much of a farm lead from the events that transpired earlier.
Mhm.
Is a slight gold lead since Kaisa has a kill, but really not much in terms of the gold value bot lane. It is still pretty even.
And it'll end up evening out once Cole is finished for Tristana.
Yeah,
so we'll
that
see.
too. The big leads right now, we have obviously a big gold lead in mid lane, massive
Yeah,
gold lead
20
forming in mid lane, 20 CS up 2
20
kills.
CS as well as 2 kills. Yeah,
Mhm.
super big. It does look like, which I think is the play here, is we bought Lost Chapter and we're opting in to go Rylai's here first item. And I think it's really good here. As you know, you're going into Naramumu.
Yeah, I've been liking that on Swain as well. In my personal builds, is I like rushing. If you go to the Mana Crystal start into Lost Chapter and then you build towards Rylai, it feels really nice. You get a lot of
Oh,
tankiness.
nice hook landing again.
Oh my
Jeez,
goodness.
Do we get the W
Dang.
out? Do we get this W out?
Arma
We go
did
for the
ult the
other
Kaisa away,
Oh.
but okay.
And it
Does
doesn't
not
end up coming
matter.
out. Oh, we land the R. Do we end up taking it further? Lulu does have ultimate.
Yeah, these
are just
these
not.
hooks.
they are magnets.
Arma's
Literally.
is just just getting red by booked by little Skyfox here. Oh,
Yanu.
Yanu holding the E.
Here.
Yeah,
With the
Flimsy.
E.
Where's the Cocoon?
Oh,
Boom engages
with the
Lando.
flash. Nice
ult.
E. Nice E from Elise. We're about to have Cocoon
Might
back
be
up.
able to turn
Hailstorm
this
going
off.
for an
Oh,
E.
The ult did not go
also
to
the wrong
Mumu, but
person.
will
Going on the
kill.
wrong target. R comes out.
Oh,
And
Flimsy
it looks like
cleans
it will
these.
be a double kill
Oh.
for Nar.
Nope, he is able to get out
Yeah.
with the flash.
Q gets caught on the minions there, which lets Keanu Reeves get out at a sliver of HP.
Yeah, I'm
Unfortunately,
surprised.
Tack isn't able to land.
We end up going for Rylai's. We actually go for Ludens. I think Ludens is a bad play here, knowing that you're gonna end up having to deal with Mumu. But you might be able to capitalize.
Going
Oh,
crazy.
whoa.
A huge
Getting
shutdown for
punished.
Vintage.
Huge shutdown. I have to question why that engage was necessary. I mean, he
Yeah.
probably just wanted to take advantage of his Luden's power spike, but whiffing the ultimate and not being able to lock down Vagar
Just
just
Vagar easily. Oh, hook coming again. Landing. Sadly not going to be able to be in range for any punishment. We end up overextending here a little bit.
Thresh might
dude,
be getting
We
picked here.
flash.
is
Oh, we
gonna
don't.
go-
Oh, we flash. And we
We're
get
able
out.
to, we're living.
It does look like it'll probably be a give of dragon though. Maybe if we get a hook here, it's kind of big. We
Oh,
and we
just
end up
get
getting
caught.
deleted.
Ward
Control
over the wall.
needed.
Yeah, ward over the wall.
Easily
Saw him.
revealed.
As Vygar is
Also-
now completely back into the game.
See, the key is Vintage didn't go to the bargain bin this time. He actually went to the actual top shelf items this game, so he will be able to
Yeah.
get his mythic item online much quicker.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Much
wasn't
quicker
just
than last time.
throwing darts at a dartboard to pick his components this time.
Oh, Whimsy going for a trade here. Getting heavily benefited.
Probably not going to
Oh.
be a kill, but
Yep.
good chunk regardless.
Hailstrom realizes that Meganar is just overloaded stat-wise and is just backing off the play.
Oh yeah.
Oh, does end up landing the Q. R is landing on a Mumu.
Yeah,
This
this
is
is
the Q, but yeah,
And Monk
Kai
and
Fox
go
and
like a monk.
Aesol.
getting the kill, and it looks like Harold will end up going to red side here. Yeah, it was really
Vagar
strange
also-
how.
What?
I was just gonna say that it was really weird how we decided to let the Herald end up scaling into the dragon.
Yeah,
I feel
for
like
sure.
we had early dragon and we weren't able to really capitalize it.
Looking
Tactic
for a
getting
dive
dived
here on
here.
tactic.
Nice
So,
polymorph.
we end up
Good flash
flashing.
north in the Amumu Q, but it is not gonna
Ooh.
matter.
We did
Lulu
have R
just-
up there, and it looked like we just weren't able to get it off fast enough.
I mean,
Yeah.
they don't lose anything for the R, so it's not that big of a deal. I think Amumu should have just instantly R'd, and it would have made it a little easier.
Yeah, it was Kaisa R.
Oh yeah. Kaisa R did not go off. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Armo might be getting off by Thresh. Oh,
Okay,
you end
some
up giving
plates
the
in the
plate
mid lane.
Brilliant Soul here. Super big.
Yeah, definitely looking to play through Aurelian Soul as
Oh,
their
go a
strongest
little wide
line right
here.
now.
Yeah, I can't justify the reasoning for going Ludens over Leandries personally. I just think Leandries
Yeah, or
works way
Roa, to
better.
be honest. I feel like either would
Yeah.
have been good.
Roa, even Crown of the Shattered Queen, I would have liked more this game, but yeah, Lunas is gonna be the pickup. It'll definitely the comp on blue side is fairly squishy overall, so
Yeah,
it's not the worst. The early M pen will be nice to get off some nice one shots. However, definitely
it just puts him at a lot of risk once he decides to go for those big W's. Oh,
Another
he's going for the trade here. Hailstorm lands the E. R coming up from Flimsy. Oh, landing the Q on Keanu
doesn't
from
have
Tack.
ultimate though.
Oh, Skygar ult comes
Vintage
out. Q
is
shut
real
down.
big.
And
Oh,
he's
yeah.
getting... Oh,
I fuck-
Skyfox getting caught. It looks like he probably will end up onto
Another
the
jump
Tristana here.
for
Like
Go
I'm coming
down.
in. Goes for the double jump. Doesn't end up get to the punish on Kaya. And we just end up pushing the lane here.
Gets Boomba stomped by Tristana and
At least Turlane Soul's going for punishment here instead of moving. I think he ends up getting Gnar. Hailstorm getting picked here. Gnar is super strong in mini form.
Oh, he
and
almost got it.
that was close. I like the idea to just be aggressive there from Hailstorm. Maybe it looked like he was moving such that he would get the passive procs on the legs, but it was good kiting there from Flimsy to not allow that damage to come through.
It's the once Trinity Force gets 5 stacks, he becomes really a big threat. And it comes out really fast from Mininar once he gets the first passive W going.
Yeah, gonna be able to secure
Looks
that.
like first
tier
turret
one
falls for
tower.
bot lane and top lane here, and we get for mid lane turret. We do end up going for the Rylays here on Aurelian Soul. We decide to start building we end up going for an early void. I am questionable about that. I assume that's for Thresh and not for anybody else.
It's not the worst idea in the world. Definitely a lot of strong AP threats on blue side, primarily Veigar and Mumu, and those champs are arguably the strongest on their team right now, so red side definitely is incentivized to spec into some MR. They don't have the best champions to do it, which is why maybe some other item other than Void might have been better. As a flash comes out from Skyfox, gonna be able to flash away from the hook though.
Looks like supports trade flashes. As we are getting close to Dragon, it might be worth to force the flash just in case if Tristana ends up overextending and Lulu be able to flash into like ult or E.
Again, would have been nice here potentially to have the Hex Flash on Thresh to be able to get a little advantage in this next fight, but obviously Hex Flash a bit harder to execute properly the later the game goes. Could potentially see just a little bit of chunk
Keanu
here.
getting seen. Moving on to
It's gonna
Lupa.
repel to safety.
Walking back in.
Mega Gnar
Lulu
is
might
expired.
catch.
Yeah,
Mod block does have the big ult. Sky
Hailstorm's
so.
Hailstorm's here.
Yeah,
Vigar's teleporting. It looks like it'll actually be the 5v5 first. Hook going just a little bit short. Flash Vigar E on Hailstorm.
Big Aurelian Soul.
down.
Aurelian Solar. We end up getting even. We land another hook on Vigar. Oh, and Vigar ends up falling. We end up going aggressive on Mob Block. A little bit overextending. Oh, getting hit out of the Gnar army.
Flimsy is just gonna go off here. Yup, double kill for
goes
Flimsy.
Nice Flash W from Flimsy.
Keanu trying to get some back. They do not have smite, so Keanu could try to position a steal
I'm in.
here.
Right there, as we talked about, like, you know, Aurelion Soul not having. Oh, we end up continuing this play. Maybe we end up getting the steal from Kiana. Oh,
No, Keanu's
he ended up jumping
away.
the minion.
Gonna just get chased
I
out
mean,
there.
he is buying some time for the rest of battle to get to respawn, but now we do
Yeah.
have a Mumu Smite coming up or coming forward.
Oh, we end up getting caught. Oh, support might fall here. Support
Is-
does fall,
Keanu is
and
gonna
he
join
trades
him.
his live. Yeah. Oh, we go for the hook. Goes a little bit wide. He gets caught here by Gnar. Ends up
Gnar
backing
ult
up because of
up
Maelstrom.
every time.
Oh,
Very short cooldown.
And
That ability is
Dragon does end up going to blue side.
huge Veigar cage there.
Back getting punished. And
Look
evidently,
for more.
Veigar was not able to punish him.
Is he running for his life
Might
here?
be able to make it out. Yeah,
Let's
probably
probably
not.
Gets caught by Veigar, or got Q. And it does look like we end up gonna go into the Swift Baron play here.
Actually, it would be a Rift Herald. Baron is
Oh,
not.
Rift Herald?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Still
Yeah,
early.
They
no,
will
got
be
it.
able to get.
I was
They
surprised
will.
because, you know, 3 dragons.
There is a
It's
lot of
early
action
objective
happening in this
game
early
here.
game. Yeah.
A lot
Yeah.
of action.
Yeah. Surprising.
We are 3 dragons in before 20 minutes. It is there's been a lot of fighting this game.
Yeah.
Hey, it
On
makes
both-
our job
on all
easier,
sides.
so I'm not complaining.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And as we do end up getting the Rylai's coming out from Aurelion Soul and Void Staff about to be completed from Veigar here. Hailstrom might get caught here. Veigar E going a little bit wide here.
Hailstrom also specking into what appears to be Titanic Hydra, second item on Urgot, probably saving the Mythic until third. Urgot definitely wants that Black Cleaver.
Oh, we're able to
Titanic
respond.
Initially,
I don't know yet. We end up going for the hook, hit the hook on Luke.
Lulu gonna be able to
Forces
use the
CR.
ultimate on herself. The Amumu only ulting the
Tactic.
Thresh as Kaisa flies in and the hook lands on Amumu to secure
And that's a
that
double
for
kill.
Kaisa.
Ben's
Gnar might
might be
be able to
falling
kill
here.
Urgot, but he has to
Huge
deal
for
with
Urgot.
the enemy
I mean,
team.
Cage.
Veigar here.
Veigar is gonna be able to
Oh,
catch them
Tristana's
all.
on the back. Oh,
This fight
and
has turned right
Echo
around
goes
for the
down.
Yordles.
Yep. I mean, that's just, you know, that's Tristana burst factor. Once you get the bomb to explode, I mean,
Yeah,
It's
PTA
almost
over
got
for
a bomb
most.
explosion, a lot of single
Yeah.
target burst.
Mont Blanc
They
getting
also-
the punish back.
Yeah, they just don't have their Aurelion Soul there to be able to get the
Oh,
AoE
we end
damage.
up doing the Baron here. Mont
Tactic
Blanc
is
having TP.
Yeah, Tactic opting for the same build here for the Sack Shiv into AD, but looks like it will be a quick Baron take up.
Oh, we made a thing the R and R.
Didn't do as much damage as I
Oh, we
thought.
hit the R.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
not getting the kill,
but
though.
He dies before the R
Yeah.
fully completes.
Nice
the
Veigar
kill.
R to secure the no. Make sure he
Yeah,
lives here.
it was a good attempt by Hailstrom. That
Yeah.
was really
Oh,
close.
Blue
If
might
he
be-
was able to get the fear off, that would have been a huge setup for
Mont Blanc going
Montblanc.
for an aggressive play. Oh, we land a hook, just not on.
Hook onto
We
the
really
Amumu,
want.
not really who you want it to be on there.
Yeah, and it looks like both junglers will end up finishing their jungle pets here.
Yep, the ADCs have been salivating for their red buff all game.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, I do like the Kaisa build a bit better this game since you have the Elise and the Aurelion Soul for AP. I still would have preferred to see a Kraken Slayer over a Static Shiv. However, I like the Navori Quick Blade's choice of item there. Definitely very smart. Be able to do a lot of AD damage and cycle a lot of evolved Qs in fights.
Yeah, as you're going to be mostly the main source of AD. Oh, nice W coming out from Tristana.
Right, the teleport coming in from both teams as
Looks
the
like
solo Amumu ultimate
Skyflux.
on the Thresh. Tactics kiting out, being able to
Alright.
chunk this Amumu
Where's-
down as everyone else is just running down Hailstrom down the mid lane.
Oh,
Yana Reeves
coming out.
going in.
nice E.
Might be a bit chunked, but a nice Aurelion Soul gonna catch 2 of them, and a snipe with the
Nice.
fear
Urgot.
beyond death. Gonna be able to secure the kill on the
Oh.
Veigar.
Rental wants to take it a bit further.
Still has the slow on from the E and Rylai's Crystal Scepter. Gonna be able to chase them down as the flash
Flashy.
lands.
Oh,
The Gnar pretty
Oh,
tanky,
Hailstrom
though,
got to
even in
fall.
baby form.
oh, Mumu going.
But
Ice agreeing out a
goes
bit.
Down.
Mont go back in with the W?
Doesn't
He is
look like it.
too many
Oh,
tower
we end up
shots.
canceling it. Oh, don't end up punishing him for that. It looks like you could be a pit play if they decide to punish him for using that W there.
Blinking health
End
bars
up
on
not
red
going for
side.
it.
Definitely gonna have to reset before they go back to take this dragon.
Yeah, sadly, if you build I mean, technically, it's like we built a burst item on Kaisa first item, and then we built like a long team fight item on Kaisa, and it doesn't really make a whole ton of sense. It does look like we are going literally for the exact same build. I feel like here there's too many tanks here.
He's going, I believe he's going, not going for Wits, he's going for
Your Phantom here. Yeah.
Phantom Dancer, yeah. Not the, yeah, he's going for Phantom Dancer with that. That's the new build path for Phantom Dancer.
Yeah. So, yeah. It looks like we're like really praying that we get the 5 items here on everybody for red side here. Looks like the dragon is going to fall, and that puts blue side on soul point here.
Yeah, Cloud Soul gonna be pretty good on this team overall. You like it a lot on Gnar,
on Tristana,
Tristana as well.
Lulu,
that speed and
super big.
is gonna be really useful.
Yeah, the only person that really can't capitalize on it is gonna be like just having to R.
Good hook hands on Lulu there. Gonna use the Thresh ultimate to
keep mattering.
Moo flash. Permacy seeing her as she goes down along with the Thresh. So blue side turning that fight back around in their favor after getting engaged on. Really well played.
And it looks like at this point, like you really start to lose sight of the game for how we're gonna end up playing this for red side. We had a really good plan when Aurelion Sol was ahead, but once he built the Ludens, he started to fall off pretty quick here.
Yeah, unfortunately, I mean, with all these health items coming out from blue side, like the Trinity into Sterix and the Moo building health and the Veigar building health, it's just you just think that the magic pen starts to, especially when they start building magic.
Going for the trade.
Could potentially be a pick here, but it looks like they're gonna back off and
are you barely missing the Aurelion Sol here? Hailstorm going for the trade. Oh, we
flash R, but the
Sterix gets activated.
Is going to keep Flimsy alive.
Flimsy looking
around the Mega Gnar here.
Here comes the R. And
wall Q auto is gonna secure that kill.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, once he gets when he has the Sterix, it's really hard for Urgot to actually get enough damage on him to finish him off with that ultimate.
Yeah, Sterix and Trinity have a really nice synergy where, because Trinity increases your base AD and Sterix gives you bonus AD based on your base AD, so those two items conjunct, when built together, build off of each other really well. We get a pause coming in here.
May have a disconnect from somebody. In the meantime, we're almost at Dragon Soul for Titan Gaming Hero. What does Red Side have to do to get back into this one? There's a 4K deficit.
I think the only way you get back into this game as Red Side is if you set up vision, get really good vision control and denial around the dragon pit, and just hope that anyone but a Moo or an R face checks the wrong bush and get a pick off on. If they manage to get a pick on either Tristana or Veigar, then the fight's winnable. Other than that, in a straight up 5v5, I don't see any multiverse where the red side wins a fight there. I'd love for them to prove me wrong. I would be very shocked and impressed if they did, but I don't see any world where that happens.
Yeah, at the moment, you're just looking for like a big Aurelion Solar on Tristana Lulu, so then Lulu can't R, and then you one-shot Tristana from 100%.
Yeah, we're bad.
That's like a condition.
I just think with the, like, unfortunately, I think with the carries both building...
Guys, Flex got canceled, I think. This is a freeze that just normally happens once you pause games.
Yeah, the league client, spectator client is not very good, but okay, I think we're back.
We do appear to be back.
Yep. Oh, it is back a little bit, so we do get to
Yeah.
see Thresh being caught here, I think, again. Nope. He does. He does end up getting caught here. Aurelion Sol's here to react.
He has the Sky's
But going a
Descent.
little bit wide.
He might not want to use it until this next dragon fight.
Oh, Vigar coming out. Missing. Oh, we do end up pink in the bush to see the vision. We end up pushing red side out of red side jungle to secure this up and coming.
Yeah, so that Tristana build is what I would have liked to see on the Kaisa personally.
Yeah, I agree. I do think the positioning on this Tristana right now is a bit questionable, though.
Yeah, definitely girl bossing very close to the sun, and the thresh hooks have been landing in and out of lane, and Mumu Qs are landing too on Keanu Reeves, and that's going to be a quick pick into most likely a Baron start from blue side.
Yeah, there just isn't really much they can do to contest now. We
will see if Aurelion Sol will be big enough to target and take it.
Urgot is matching Arma top lane. Arma doesn't have a way to get into this fight, so yeah, it is a teleport from
Urgot teleports. Big R coming out.
Coming in.
3-man armor. Tactic does end up getting the Lulu, but not Tristana. Tristana is still... Oh yeah, Tristana's bot lane.
Yeah, Tristana's bot lane. It's just Montenblock versus... I mean, they did stop the Baron, and the Tristana...
And it did end up being...
Still pushing.
Just sadly, we didn't end up getting any of the shutdowns that we really wanted here.
This Gnar is just so strong, and until Kaisa gets Lord Dominic's regard, she's not going to be able to deal with him very well.
Tristana is going to back on an entire item here after taking that bot turret, so it is going to be a... It is going to be a very strong Tristana coming up for this dragon fight. Yep. Should complete... yep. The entire Lord Dominic's just completed the base. That is
in a cloak. That is 90%, 90% crit.
Yeah, that is gonna be a...
Trist is going to be a menace to society.
Oh, Vigar on a flank? Gonna catch Keanu here.
Yeah, I think Keanu should be
going out.
Pretty much
he does get
the blow flash.
Okay.
Nice flash
out. He got the flash out. That was
a nice in there from Keanu. So we could still see a fight here potentially, although I doubt red side wants to take something as crazy as this.
However, Aurelion Sol does not have Sky Descend anymore, but Mininar is going to be, or Meganar is going to be down for a little while, so this might be the opportunity.
We end up getting caught by the
Veigar cage catches. Veigar in a pretty bad position. Urgot going to be able to catch him out, so Wild Growth caves him, and the Urgot ult does not channel fully. Kaisa in a pretty bad spot as the Aurelion Sol ultimate comes down, and the health bars of the red side are just all going down at once, and that is going to be the Cloud Soul secured for blue side.
It looks like it could be an end here. It looks really heavily like an end here.
Kaisa kind of just ulted straight into the middle of the
Gnar.
Yeah, which is just not where you want to be.
It's tough for Kaisa to R into Gnar to Mumu because they're just like, thank you, this is exactly where we want you to be. And they're able to kill her, CC her there, and
interesting game
right here.
Tristana playing this super clean this game, making sure not to W in super aggressively.
Had a bit of a questionable early game, but was able to pull through and be a menace in these team fights and pump out a lot of damage and secure the victory.
I mean, I think all three carries on Titan Gaming, Flimsy, Vintage, and Arma all played super well that game once they started getting rolling.
Yep.
So definitely a really good showing. Very good showing to Tac Alley. Thanks for subbing, buddy. That was a really good showing. Those two games on Amumu.
Yep, and I mean, as we go into it, I mean, do we want to pull up the MVP? Are we going to put Flame in it?
So I
Great
mean,
game.
you can put flame/flimsy maybe if you want to like. You
Oh
can
yeah, we
put
can just say
yeah.
top lane MVPs.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Yeah, we can do that. We can do that.
Flame/flimsy can share the spotlight on their on the MVP vote.
Okay.
Since they both
Yeah, I'm
played
down with
really
that.
really
I'm down with that.
well, both on the Olaf and the Gnar was both good showing for both of them.
Yeah, and I mean, Hailstorm not having a bad game honestly in either. Just ended up getting a little bit out of hand once it hit that mid game around 15 minutes.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
Thrush were landing really well in the bot lane early and was doing really well to
Yeah.
secure that early lead, but it wasn't really able to snowball it into much more for through the Aurelion Soul and the Kaisa.
I mean, yeah, it's definitely. I think there's a little bit of an issue with. I think the only really issue on red side was I don't know if the drafts were exactly like what we needed against these comps. I think that we could have went. I did like the draft the first game. I just think that one got a little bit out of hand. This game, I think the draft was a little bit confused. I don't think there was a clear win con for your
idea.
drafts exactly. Yeah, really
I think
ideas.
because once you picked Kaisa Elise, you like really forced this like weird dive comp. And then once we responded with Aurelion Soul, it put that game in like a weird motion where we don't want to like super coin flip early game, but we also like can't really let it get to late game because we end up at least now end up getting outscaled by Tristana here.
Yep, the poll is the.
I
Sorry,
definitely
real
think the
quick.
item
The poll.
choices. Or sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, the poll's up right now. We're voting for MVP. Make sure to place your vote and go ahead with your point console.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I think it was partially the draft being a little split, and also the item choices also didn't really help. We again saw the Kaisa going with a kind of like half and half build, where like building the Shiv, which indicated they wanted to go the AP central build, but then opting for the Navori Quick Blades a bit just too far in either direction, not really committing to either I want a team fight or I want to snipe and pick people off. And the Aurelion Soul just frankly, I've never seen an Aurelion Soul built Ludens before, and there is a reason for that. There's just so many better mythic options, and there was just, I think those two things combined with the split comp and that those factors resulted in them not being able to snowball that slight early lead they had.
Yeah, and it looks like as the clear winner, the top lane MVPs ended up pulling it out. Are we going to want to grab them in and talk to them a little bit about the games?
I mean, if they're willing to jump
Show
in, we
up.
can give them a little post game interview if they're Yeah, if you guys want to jump into like one of the like duo or flex channels, we can pull you up into the Discord. And get a duo, the top lane, legendary top lane duo here. All right, I'll pull you both up. Welcome to the cast, Flame and Flimsy here. What do you guys have to say about that game? Any comments? Any thoughts?
I need to thank my prodigy here for subbing in for me and performing almost as good as me.
I would say a little better, but it's all good. Enemy team decided to actually end when you played. I don't know why, but I guess
My team was inting. They had to
they're just terrified of you. Made them play worse.
So what you're saying is when you won, it was all complete and utter skill and all you, but when he won, it was because the enemy team ended. That's what I'm hearing here.
Honestly, now that you put it like that, yeah, I agree. That makes sense.
He's just mad he didn't get the 5-star Yordle comp. He didn't get.
Yeah, I didn't get to play
Yeah.
Yordle, bro. They didn't even say that's why I comp.
You didn't draft more dog on your team.
Talking about the comps you decided to build for game one, Flame. What were you guys talking about during the drafting phase?
Yeah, so I came in today, so Flimsy asked me 4 hours ago to play, and I was like, all right, no problem, but I'm just gonna lock Yon, play hardstyle, and 1v9 split push. then they took Yon, so I was like, well, I guess I have to pick something useful now. So I decided to just play Olaf. And then everything else kind of just fell into play.
So you were forced on playing a useful champ.
Yeah, it was tragic. I was gonna whole break a Yone and just like troll, but they
I
didn't
was
let me.
wondering if we
So.
don't get that Samira top angle.
Yo, the Samirats up too. You're right.
Dude, maybe even the Kaisa top, but it ended up getting stolen.
Yeah, they just stole all of Flame's picks. Unlucky.
Yeah,
they stole all
I
of
don't know.
Flame's picks game one. For game two, what were you guys talking about for the comp?
You know, we just
Yordles, obviously.
needed to grow back that Amumu again. The Amumu was cracked. And then, just put Omo on anything, doesn't really matter. He's AFK. Vintage with the garage sale Vagar build, so we gotta run that back.
Yeah, garage sale Vagar.
Gotta get the
Okay.
redemption arc.
Yeah, he's gotta buy top shelf items this time. Can't go stooping in the bargain bin.
So I had a quick question regarding game one. So you guys had a pretty rough deficit game one, and were able to bring it back. What do you think was what was going on in the comms? How did you guys manage to keep your mental in check and end up pulling that game back?
Yeah, so I play for a amateur org called RDG, and I dropped the link in my chat. So all my like teammates and coaches were watching, so I had to make sure I didn't lose. So I just I think
that was the
I kind of
driver.
carried
Oh,
comms.
so those are your
Yeah,
fanboys.
I had to invite
That's
them.
the
Yeah,
fan base.
yeah.
That's the fan base, baby.
We definitely noticed that.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
chat got a
so-
lot quieter after you were off the team.
Shout out to
Game
Drake,
two.
he's my favorite.
Yeah, Drake is my favorite too. It's a little toxic, but it's all good. But yeah, for the most part, I think we kind of entered lane phase a little bit, but everyone listened to every call I made, which was super nice. So it was pretty easy to play the game because I feel like I should have a good sense on how to play the map. So and also Olaf is just 1v9, so.
For talking about playing your map, how did you feel about like the overall like setup for objectives and like the word patterns and like how you decided to like play that as a whole?
Yeah, so typically on like my team, for example, we always try to set up objectives a minute and a half in advance. So the way you do it is you just get mid prio, and then you look toward jungle entrances and things like that. We had a really good pick comp with a Mumu and Nautilus, so pretty much if we see them coming into us, we get to pick every fight pretty much right off the bat, rather than the enemy being able to engage with their Seraphine and Yone and etc.
Makes complete sense. I really like the idea you took when you picked the Olaf. I felt like it was a really nice pick as you denied Seraphine R, I think at least 3 times.
Yeah,
Also-
it's a combo I like to play a lot.
There's also a lot of times where Jarvan ulted you, and I could just tell that the Jarvan regretted it immediately because you just win that 1v1 any day of the week.
Yeah, he actually misplayed. If he wants to do that, so typically Jarvan is actually used as a Olaf counter because you ult the Olaf, and if he ults, you just EQ out, and then Olaf ult runs out, and then you burst him when the ult is out. But he EQ'd in and then ulted me, so I was able to just free hit him, keep my ult going, and then transfer it to everyone else.
Yeah, we did mention on the cast a little bit that there was some misplay with the Jarvan ult, where it's ultimately they looked like they had a pretty sound comp, but there was some misplays all around that just made it really hard for them to play. And then once you were able to capitalize and get your items, there was little they could do to really deal with you at that point.
Yeah, pretty much. Also, since he's in the chat, shout out to my support Yuma. Best support in Plat Diamond. Oh, my bad, Diamond Master. So I apologize. And
Talking about shout outs, is there any shout outs you want to do more than that, Flame?
to anyone else, yeah, shout out to Fence for hitting me up, trusting me to not int him. And then shout out to my org RDG and you guys for hosting the league. I think it's really cool what you guys do.
Well, thank you. Flimsy, any thoughts for shout outs and stuff?
Let's go ahead and shout out Trinity. Trinity, we gotta get a new mic though, Loki.
All right, Trinity's got to get a new mic. So with that, we're going
I'd like to
to
talk underwater half the time.
we're gonna close it out there. But thank you guys for joining the cast, and everyone, thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next broadcast.
Just say GG's.
Yeah, congrats
Yeah,
on the
see
win,
you guys.
guys.
Thanks.